Woo, all right, vinyl community. Comedians UK, yes. We'll talk about them again after. Doing a Friday cheers right now. Bam, bam, let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, kicking it old school, a little Ballantine's, Triple X, sexy beer. Oh yeah. Let's see who we got here today. We got the guitar street performer guy. We call him Will. And next weekend, it's marathon time. Yeah, this one from 22. Well, that's when I did it. I'm not doing it this year, but I'll be out there with my bell at mile 10. And also in the party today we have, yes, it's King Tut. Yes, the king, right? I gotta put the king over here with me because I have a feeling Colton would be in attack mode. And we certainly don't want to offend King Tut. Oh yeah. One more shot of this one. Alright, shut that down. Shut that downtown, Julie Brown, right? MTV memories. There'll be some memories today in this video. Yes, going back to those MTV days. Yeah, it was downtown Judy Brown. I don't know. All right, Colton. Oh, Colton's in my spot. We can share, buddy. There we are, Colton. All right, gotta get situated here. What going on here? Wow. All right. God. Having an episode. Yes, this is a Friday Cheers episode, right? So what do we have here? It's fragile, apparently, right? So a little story here. This is VCLT, but a little slow-moving VCLT because right around Christmas time, my friend Anthony, Gambler812, he sent me this stuff, and he works for U.S. Postal, and so Colton loves it, right? He's into it. Can't wait to open it. So anyway, this thing came. Anthony's like, hey, I remember it was a Saturday. I was lying on the couch. Did you get the package? I should have a proof of delivery. And I went down, and some seasonal porch pirates perched this on me. And anyway, they stole it. And then they opened it, and I guess they didn't like what was in it because they shoved it back in, and it was on my doorstep this past Tuesday. I got home, went for a run, get back, and I look, oh, I got a package here. Oh, that's funny. It's VCLT from Anthony. That's great. Didn't look at the post date. I don't want to flip it around. It's got all that vital information, but the post date on it is December 21st. So, yes, it's here finally, and yeah. The porch pirates, it was nice of them. They already opened it for us, Colton. Oh, yes, a nice housekeeping note from Anthony. Don't forget to give these a good cleaning. You betcha. All right. Oh, Colton, look what I got for you, buddy. Oh, he just loves bubble wrap. There you go, buddy. Okay. Yes, so blue eyes. What else we got here? Yes, September of my years. I have this one already, Anthony. I may re-gift that back to you if you don't have it. Let's see here. Close to you, I do not have that. Swing Easy, I don't have that. Believe it or not, I've got 23 Sinatra albums and there's still more, right? Yeah, Swing Easy and and Dean Martin Christmas, right? I'll have it for this coming Christmas, right? Damn those porch pirates, bastards, all of them. All right, Colton. So thank you, Anthony, for that. Brilliantly arrived. 3-month lead time, but I'm glad it's here. All right, so what do we have here? Yeah, we got a lot to do today. So let's see here. Okay. All right, give a shout out here. New channel here. This is Bill. Calls his channel Old for Matt. You can see that there, Old for Matt. And he's at 40 subscribers. He just entered my thread. 5 songs you listen to when you're a 12, 13-year-old kid. And thank you for doing that, Bill. So there's Bill. Go over and give Bill a sub. And next, I gotta go into my slides here. Complex. Yes, there they are. But anybody know this? Has anybody seen this man in the vinyl community? Chris from Rekkid Talk. Right there, right? If you don't know his channel, get over and subscribe. Jesus, he's at $7.99, people. Give him one, right? Big 800. Plus, he's got his contest going on. The leap year contest. I think you still have time to do that. I know I did it. And I just saw Embryonic Robot. He did an entry too. So everybody get on board with that. So go over there and check it out. I will leave a link to this because this is what I'm talking about next. It's the GOAT, which means it's an acronym for the greatest of all time, and it's a vinyl tag. So people in the vinyl tag or people in the vinyl community do vinyl tags, but usually it's a seasonal thing. Like I was just talking about Christmas. Well, usually right around New Year's Day, our friend in Manchester, Rob Walker, not Manchester, New Hampshire. He's in England. I'm near Manchester, New Hampshire, in case you hadn't caught on. But anyway, yeah, back to this. It's a vinyl tag, and it's kind of an interesting thing Chris is doing. It's April. Normally you don't see these, so what the hell? I'm going to do it. And so what his theme here is, I'm going to read it for you because I think he's a statistician or like he's a professor of statistics, so it's very precision here. So, but this is not a contest, Chris. So be forewarned, I'm going to flip a couple of questions. The answers, I'm going to keep the questions the same, but the answers I may go a little off. So here's the instructions, people. I got to read this. Chris from Rekkid Talk, he spells it R-E-K-K-I-D, Rekkid. And yeah, anyway, Chris from Rekkid Talk believes that any time of the year is a good time for a vinyl tag. So I've created 15 prompts for the GOAT, greatest of all time, vinyl tag. You can show CDs or tapes as well. Just show the greatest of all time in the following categories. I got to get that. Yeah, Colton's going after my friend here. All right, take a break over there, Will. All right, Jesus, Colton's on fire tonight. All right, so there's 15 prompts. So I better get cracking here. I'm 7 minutes into this thing. Oh, and he's back. All right. So number 1, singer-songwriter. All right. Everybody knows I love Emmylou. I think that's her second solo album, Pieces of the Sky. Coming in next, Elite Hotel right there. Waiting for a bus. Yes. Luxury Liner. Yes, there she is. This was produced by her short-time husband, long-time producer, Bruce Ahern from Toronto. Right? Who knew? Blue Kentucky Girl. There's another one. Here, Quarter Moon in a 10-cent town. This is a really good one. Easy from now on. 2 more bottles of wine. I Ain't Living Long Like This. That's a really cool Rodney Crowell tune she does on here. You can see that there. I Ain't Living Long Like This. Oh yeah. Cimarron right there. This is with her band called the Hot Band right there. And this is a live album here. Last Date. And this is the last record. And she's wearing her white shoes, and that's the name of the album, White Shoes. So that's Emmylou. Driving Wheels, a good song, kicking that one off. I like it. Of course, I like a lot of Emmylou Harris. So I have a bunch of CDs too, but I'm not going to get into that. So that was question 1. Question 2, best blues guitarist. Where is he? Oh, wait. Now, I got to give an honorable mention to the singer-songwriter. Got to give one for the guys. Look at Colton just knocked over Richard Simmons. Colton, hey, I'm talking to you here. Hey. All right, Colton, you got to get off of there, bud. Yeah, not up there. Play with that. Gee whiz. All right, we got Nick Drake from England, the late, great Nick Drake. So he's going to get a mention. He was a really sad fellow, and sadly died because his songs were really sad. He died at the age of 26. Almost joined the 27 Club, right? And I think he passed sometime in the mid-70s. But this was a compilation. He only did 3 albums. Don't ask me to name all 3 off the top of my head, but this is just a compilation culling from all 3 of those. And some highlights on here, Hazy Jane and Pink Moon. It was later immortalized in a Volkswagen commercial, the tune Pink Moon. All right, by Nick Drake. All right, blues guitarist. This one, I thought, I know Chris picked Eric Clapton. He's also one of my favorites. He's certainly in the top 5. But I wanted to really get down with some other blues. It's blues is blues, I guess. But what I meant to say is maybe not a huge player, but a medium level achiever. And that's going to be the Iceman right here. And this is Truckin' with Albert Collins. Originally recorded in 1965. The label put it out a little later on, a couple of years after the fact, after it was recorded. But a couple of his tunes that live on forever, and his set list, whenever you watch live clips, like Frostbite and Frosty, like all these Frozen themes, because that's why they called him the Iceman. So that's Truckin'. Apparently Jimi Hendrix was quite the big fan of Albert Collins. All right, more Friesen. He's ice picking right here. This is probably my favorite Albert Collins album, Honey Hush, Ice Pick, Cold Cold Feeling. Yeah, there he is on the back, and he's doing some ice picking. Look at his amplifier is a block of ice. Yeah, he's gonna melt that son of a bitch. All right. He's got frostbite, so this is another one. Right after that, on Alligator, the years on these. 1980, the release on this one. Now, nothing on the way of photos. Albert, you chinched out. I have all my Albert Collins stuff on CD because I was, God, I'm parched here. Ugh. That'll do it. Valentine's, Triple X. Albert Collins, all right, frostbite. So you get the idea. All right, and one more from the Iceman. I do love a good live album, and this one's from 1983, or 84 rather, and it's live in Japan. Really good one. If Trouble Was Money, nice 7 minute 53 second jam right there, and that's a good one because he's live in Japan. Yes. All right, where are we next? We're at the best drummer. All right, Ginger, my man, right? Ginger Cat, Ginger Drummer, the best, my clear best. I mean, there's some good drummers. Don't get me wrong. I mean, honorable mentions, of course. You know, you could say Neil Peart, Phil Collins. You know, a long list of standards. But no, I go right here. He was a crazy son of a bitch. But yeah, Ginger Baker. Beware, Mr. Baker. Really fine documentary, not to be missed. I don't know where that's streaming right now, but it's a really good one. And I got this recently. This is Ginger Baker's Air Force. I got this up in Gloucester at Mystery Train Records. So I'm going to be going up there again, probably next month. Nice gatefold on that one. So yeah, that's Ginger Baker's Air Force. Great drummer. All right, where are we at here? Oh yeah, Record Store. I thought this was a really cool one, Chris. Yeah, so here's my favorite record store growing up. A store called Sam the Record Man. The flagship store was located on Yonge Street, which is the main thoroughfare in Toronto, right across from the Eaton Centre. Long street, runs perpendicular right up from Lake Ontario. This is kind of the epicenter at Yonge and Dundas, a major intersection. And boom, you had it looks like two stores because it was kind of two giant rooms. And there was a mezzanine too around the top, if I remember. But it folded in the early 2000s. And long-running record store though, right from the Sam Snyderman founded the store, I want to say in the late 1950s. He's, of course, long past. There he was, founder and owner of Sam the Record Man. So it became a chain, Sam the Record Man. Even in, Colt's got a toy here. Even in my small town where I grew up in Ontario, Colt, get that homemade toy there, buddy. We had a Sam the Record Man, and I grew up in a town of 20,000, but it was a really good for a chain record store. They had an independent section, like imports, where I used to be able to buy weird alternative stuff when I was in high school. Really cool. And what am I looking at? Here's an old sleeve for a Gil Scott-Heron record. But I have a few of these old Sam sleeves. And yeah, when you bought a record there, you got this nice sleeve. You can see it's a thick plastic, but this is, seen better days. But for the purposes of this video, Chris, it's in. All right. So that's Sam the Record Man, yeah. All right. My friends in Canada will definitely know about that. Where are we here? I'm trying to truck through this because this is a long list. All right, metal album. Colton Climbing the Walls, man. British Steel, right? Breaking the Law. So I'm going to leave a link to my 50th birthday party, not the whole party, just about 3 minutes, where I do karaoke and I do Breaking the Law. Of course I do. And it's in my backyard right here in public. So yeah, have a good laugh. I'll leave a link to that below. Anyway, and links to any of these other channels I've mentioned today. So yeah, that is my favorite metal album. I'm not a huge metal guy, but I have my moments. And I originally had this on vinyl when it came out because I was a young kid, and then I bought the CD, and then I don't know what happened to my album. I wish I still had it, but I do have this, so that's a definite bonus. All right, country album. What are we talking about here? It's cold. Do that. Oh, all right, you're okay, buddy. All right, so where the heck are we here? Metal album, country album. All right. There we at here. Here we go. I'm going to go with this one on the male vocalist side. I'm going to go for this one on the female vocalist side. Tammy Wynette from 1970, produced by Billy Sherrill. I'll See Him Through, Love Me, Cold Lonely Feeling. This is just really, really at her peak. This is amazing. This is a really, really good record. That's a Desert Island one for me right there. I'd go that far. Now, I don't normally show greatest hits when I do a vinyl tag, but Chris did. He showed Kenny Rogers, like I said there. I don't know where my picture of Chris went. It doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to show Waylon Jennings' greatest hits. So here it is. This is released in 1977, 78. And they're all here. Honky Tonk Heroes, Lonesome, Ornery and Mean, Amanda, that's a slow one. Only Daddy That'll Walk the Line. I'm a Ramblin' Man. I mean, you put this on, it's a good one. You drink a couple of Ballantines while you're listening to that. Hey, Colton? All right. Where are we at here? You catch my bearings here. Alternative album. All right. Did I skip one? Oh, yeah, I did skip one. Remember, question 4 was best punk album. I don't have a lot of punk either, but I have this one from high school, from Vancouver, British Columbia. I give you DOA. It's 8 songs to march by. March into the 80s, in fact. March, march, march. There's some little mathematical quiz for you there. Chris, talk minus action equals 0. I know Chris likes math. Chris from Rekkid Talk. So yeah, these, of course, the lead vocalist here. That's Joey Shithead right there, right? So what do we got on here? Liar for Hire, I'm Right, You're Wrong. War, of course, the title track. I Hate You, that's on here too. So yeah, love it. So that's DOA, best punk album. All right, now we're moving after question 7, which was country album, and now we're at alternative album. So yeah, this takes me to like senior year of high school, and then as I went into university. So these guys, very, very, very industrial alternative. This is their first full length. They were from Vancouver, British Columbia, that city I just mentioned, ironically. They're on the Network label. Whenever you bought a Network album, like a lot of labels would do, they'd promote their other artists, and you could, contact them, order those, whatever. Let's see here. It's stuff. I'm gonna have a lot of filing to do after this, Colton. You want to help me? Jesus. Yeah, there you go. The Network logo right there. So, yeah, really weird ministry-ish. It's got film loops dumped into it, like clips of film dialogue, and just really weird dance beats. But if you were in the clubs, like at this time when I was, this kind of clubs is like a goth club where the people that go there only come out at night. That's why they're not daytime people. It's the all black crowd, and all that kind of thing, right? But I was into that. When you're in the mood for it at the time, when I was 19 or 20, that was my jam. I didn't really look like a goth guy, but I could pull off the look for a few hours to go out at night. So here we go. This one is from 1985. And yeah, it's their first full length. Assimilate kicks this thing off. Deadlines. And side 2, The Choke, is probably the second best best song on this one. Skinny Puppy. So that was a tie for best alternative album. Oh, here's a compilation too. It's a compilation of all their 12-inch singles right here. So yes, you can see the 2 songs I mentioned, Assimilate, The Choke, both included on this 12-inch anthology. Very nice. All right. Yeah, finally. And the tie goes to, yes, The Chameleons, Strange Time. So that was the band I played right off the top. They did 3 albums. They're one of those bands, I could have picked any 3. Most bands either, their first album's good, second one's better, sometimes best. These were equally good. I mean, all 5-star, knocks out of the park, really terrific stuff. So anyway, The Chameleons featuring the vocal stylings of Mark Burgess. And on this one, Mad Jack, Swamp Thing was probably their biggest hit, if you will, although it was only on college charts, really. This was not a top 40 record by any stretch of the imagination, but really good. The term's overused, but the only way I can describe these guys is kind of post-punk. Give it a listen and see what you think. Swamp Thing would be a song I'd start with. It's infectious. You'll listen to it more than once, probably on that first listen. So there you go. Skinny Puppy and the Chameleons UK with a tie for best alternative album, that is. All right. Oh yes, this is fun. This is best disco album. I actually have several disco albums, and this one's a pretty good one too. It's the Tramps. Yeah, 2 tunes on here. I listened to this last night. Soul Searching Time, and yeah, that's where the happy people go. So next time I move house, I'm gonna hire these guys. These guys look like they know what they're doing with that couch. And they got the couch right there in their beautiful outdoor living room here. You can see by a nice, looks like a little body of water there, and there's a bridge. They're living under the bridge. That's probably not the greatest place to live, but they're where the happy people go. So that's all that really matters in this life, right? If you can say that, you're doing all right. Okay, so best disco. All right, rock and roll song. This took a bit of thought. So I started thinking about this thing this tag when I watched Chris's video last weekend. So, you know, I was going through. I didn't want to do it quick because Chris is cool, and I like a vinyl tag, and I like to give it a bit of thought. So what the hell? Here I am. Yes, Chuck Berry. Best rock and roll song. Why not start from the beginning? Right there. Johnny Be Good, right? A song that's been covered by a million people. Maybe not a million, like I have a million subscribers, or I just pushed to a million recently. But no, it's been covered by a lot of people because it's good, and it's a standard. There he is. Yes, the late, great Chuck Berry. Johnny Be Good, man. Really awesome. Yeah, I love it. I love all of it. This was a fine re-release on Chess. Actually, I should talk about this for a second. On the Chess label here. I got this at a record show last fall, and I'm telling you, I paid maybe $8 for this. This sleeve's got some really bad ring wear, but who cares? It's the product inside. This plays like it was never played. It's amazing. Golden decade, of course, 1955 to 1965. Yes, right there. His golden decade. Tremendous. Maybelline, Wee Wee Hours. That's a good instrumental. Brown Eyed Handsome Man. No Particular Place to Go. Of course, George Thorogood does one of my favorite versions of that. Roll Over Beethoven. I mean, you know, it's all here, man. Chuck. All right. Speaking of covers of Chuck tunes, here we go. Bed and Roses, Grateful Dead. Live album from 71, sorry. There's the guys right there, right? Yes, looking very morose. So what do we got here? So here we got a white label promo. You can see promo not for sale right there, okay? And what do we have here on, this is side 3 of the record. Yeah, and the last song on there, we got Johnny Be Good. All right, see it right there. Great cover. And they had that in their catalog for years. I even saw Dead and Company do a version of that. Saw Dead and Company 3 times. The latest incarnation that's without Phil Lesh. So I know Sam St. John's a fan of the Dead and Co. All right. Where are we now? We did rock and roll song. Now we're going to do pop song. So we got another tie, people. 80s is my jam. That's when I listen to a lot of pop music. Now, this would be considered, I think, alternative pop. Nobody would know this really in North America. I knew it because I used to read New Musical Express and Q Magazine. So when I'd go to the city, I bought this probably in grade 11, grade 12. I remember where I bought it. Shake Records, another great record store from the past in Ottawa. So this is a 12-inch single for Wah. Absolutely one of the, I could listen to it 5 times in a row. It's probably a 4.5-minute tune. Pete Wiley, the lead vocalist, and his backup vocalist on here, of course, the late, great, see that, Josie Jones right there. Really real looker. So I'm going to put a link in the description below. There's a really cool video on YouTube of their appearance on Top of the Pops where they do come back. So Wah, the name of the band, sorry. It's Pete Wiley and Wah, technically. The tune is called Come Back. And then there's another version on the B-side because this is a 12-inch single. Wah. Yeah. So yeah. Honorable mention, another one from the same album. I think it was called, the full length was called Story of the Reds. I think there's another tune called It's Sinful. That's a really good one too, by Pete Wiley and Wah. So, all right. The tie I'm talking about, yeah, friends of Morten Astad. These guys are from Norway, all right? Oslo, I guess. That's the big city. The song I'm talking about on this is not Take On Me. It's going to be Sun Always Shines on TV. Really great. The lead singer, his first name is Morten. Yes. And I don't know if Morten Astad knows him, but Morten, please leave a comment and give me your thoughts on this album. It's Hunting High and Low. It was huge on MTV in the US and Much Music in Canada when I was a teenager. And I really like it. I remember though, I was at a friend's house and I had a recording on cassette. My friend Paul was really into punk. And I don't know, his parents were away and there was a bunch of us over there partying. I don't know, probably around that time. Yeah, grade 11, grade 12. And had the boom box and they were playing pool because his parents had a pool table in one room and I was in this other part of the rec room where the bar was and the boom box blasting that and he just comes in and whips it out. Who put this shit on? Immediately put back on some Black Flag or whatever he was listening to. Hilarious memory. All right, pop song, we covered that. Artist, everybody knows I love the Grateful Dead. I've never shown these before though. So these are story behind these two. Probably around 1998, 99. I was still living in Ontario And I had a nephew who was living in Cleveland, Ohio for work. He was down there for like 3 years. I went down there to see Peter Frampton one summer at the arena, wherever the basketball team plays. Don't ask me to name it. And I went, of course, to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was this amazing record store. Back then it was all CDs, right? So this is live at the Knickerbocker Arena, just up the road from me, about 3 hours in Albany, New York, state capital. Hold on, I think Colton's trying to get out. Run out, Colton. There he goes. Off into the night. All right. So yeah, there you go. There's some deadheads hanging outside right there. Friends of Sam St. John. A lot of Sam St. John shout-outs for some reason, but it's kind of like All the World's a Stage video. I don't know. There they are there. Cool, right? There's Jerry. Getting her done. All right. At the Knickerbocker Arena. Of course, the other one here is from 1970. This is 77, April 1971, sorry. And this is at the Fillmore East, Bill Graham's Fillmore East, of course, in New York City. I don't know what's on the inside for photos in this one. Nice booklet too on the inside here. Yes, in the late 1960s, New York's equivalent of Haight-Ashbury, which was, of course, San Francisco, was Greenwich Village. And I've been there. It's a pretty cool place still. Real funky town. All right. So that's my favorite artist, Grateful Dead. All right. No, sorry, it's not my favorite. Greatest of all time. Now, I should have said this at the beginning of the video. These are my greatest right now. They usually are, if you ask me. But yeah, it's great in the moment for the most part. But yeah, these have a lot of staying power. So if you ask me next week, this list is probably actually going to be the same. So holiday song, back with Tammy, right? Who wouldn't want to spend Christmas with Tammy? And the song she does on here that I really like. All right, no offense to Elvis, but I like this version by Tammy as well. And that's why it's on this list for holiday songs. So Blue Christmas with Tammy Wynette. I'm sure I wouldn't be blue if I was with Tammy. All right, comedy album. I don't have any comedy albums, but I do have this soundtrack from a really funny comedy that I really love. I don't know where I got this promo. It's a CD. All it warns on here is do not play in dashboard or jukebox CD players. So I can play it in my CD player here, and I have played it. So it's just a promo. There's John Belushi there hanging out the window. Animal House. So yeah, not a comedy album, but it's a comedy soundtrack. All right. Greatest album of all time. Holy shit. All right. Yeah, here I go. Back to the 80s, right? It's kind of funny. That's where you go where you started out, right? When you do something like this tag. Nice gatefold. There the boys are right there. Core members, Billy Duffy. Over here. And there's Ian Astbury. The rhythm section was always changing in the band, the bass player and the drummer. But this is Love. And this is from 1985. I love it. I love, right? Nirvana, Big Neon Glitter, the title track, Brother Wolf, Sister Moon, when they dial it, they slow it down there. Of course, Rain, She Sells Sanctuary, and I have a bunch of 12-inch singles of a lot of these songs too. But yes, greatest of all time, at least here to MGK Boston. So my God, I've been going here. It's half an hour today. Thanks if you've made it this far. And I'll give you a final Friday. Cheers. Check out this vintage postcard. There's me and Patty. If we would have met and went alive in 1955, that would have been the scene right there. Isn't that hilarious? So anyway, yes, postcards. And Valentine's Triple X Sexy Beer. Sexy Dive Bar Beer. Yeah, that'll work. All right, people. I will see you next time. Have a great weekend.